evening, and thank you for joining us on NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Verlicia Gavin.
And I'm Juliana Jackson. As the world waits to see if former President Donald Trump will be indicted in New York, some of his most devoted supporters lined up near his home in Palm Beach.
A few dozen supporters gathered on the Southern Boulevard Bridge near his Mar-a-Lago resort today. Take a look at this video here. You can see his supporters waving some large pro-Trump flags along with some smaller flags and some American flags as well.
Attendees and people near the bridge could hear country music blasting from the speakers as well. People passing by honked their horns while others took pictures. While it appeared to be a protest, people said they were showing their support rather than protesting. This gathering comes after Trump wrote in a post on his platform, Truth Social, saying he would be arrested today and that supporters need to protest and, quote, take our nation back.
Police in New York are setting up security cameras and barricades as they prepare for unrest over the possible indictment of the former president. He said he expects to be arrested over a hush money payment to an adult film star, Stormy Daniels. CNN's Paula Reed has new details in this case.
The Manhattan DA's investigation into Trump's alleged role in hush money payments made to an adult film star ahead of the 2016 election is moving ahead full steam. Today, attorney Robert Costello appeared before the New York grand jury after Trump's legal team requested he be called to testify about the credibility of former Trump fixer Michael Cohen. Costello previously represented Cohen, who, according to a letter the Trump team sent to the DA, waived attorney-client privilege. Cohen, who has met with the DA's office 20 times and appeared before the same grand jury twice, is a key witness in this case, which centers around a $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels to silence her about an alleged affair with Trump. She was paid by Cohen in the final days of the 2016 campaign. Now, almost 7 years later, the grand jury is looking at crimes that include whether Trump falsified business records when reimbursing Cohen for that payment.
This case is not going to be predicated on any one individual, but rather it's going to be predicated on the documents, the evidence, the text messages, the emails.
On Truth Social over the weekend, Trump predicted he would be arrested Tuesday and, in an echo of January 6th, called for his supporters to protest. But his spokesperson said they have received no indication from the DA that he will be arrested Tuesday.
Is your client speculating about an arrest to incite political violence?
I don't think he's speculating at all.
Trump denies the affair and any wrongdoing. One of his attorneys, Alina Habba, warning that Trump supporters will lash out if he is charged.
If they choose to do so for a misdemeanor, which frankly he didn't even do, it is going to cause mayhem.
The DA's office says it will not be intimidated, but they are preparing just in case.
They are increasing security around the courthouse and the district attorney's office. Happening in Tupelo, a youth pastor was arrested for alleged child sex crimes. The Lee County Sheriff's Department charged 27-year-old Alexander Blackwelder with 2 additional counts of sexual battery. This comes nearly a month after Tupelo PD first arrested and charged him with child enticement and 2 counts of sexual battery. Blackwelder allegedly had inappropriate contact with a 16-year-old girl.
A senior Memphis police officer who was on the scene during the arrest of Tyree Nichols was able to retire before he could be fired. That's according to recent documents in his retirement letter. Lieutenant Dwayne Smith wrote, quote, "It was not an easy decision. I came to realize that the time has come to move on." That letter came after documents dated a month before Smith's resignation, where he was advised of disciplinary charges against him, including neglect of duty, unauthorized public statements, and compliance with regulations. Smith is alleged to have failed to take command in a supervisory role. Having been with the department since 1998, Smith would have been the most senior officer at the scene. He has not been criminally charged in connection to Nichols' death.
Changes are on the table when it comes to marijuana in the state of Mississippi after approval from the Mississippi legislature. The changes will limit public availability to businesses' citations, records, and focuses on making sure agencies that are running the new medical marijuana program are operating smoothly. These changes were made as an attempt to protect businesses from negative attention, such as social media scrutiny. Being able to see a business's citations publicly allowed competitors to spread false information. This idea comes with some controversy. Some believe that the public deserves transparency. Now that the bill has been passed in both the House and the Senate, it is now awaiting a signature from Governor Tate Reeves for the changes to go into effect. Now, if this change does go into effect, it could further limit access to medical marijuana. And this limited access could prompt people to purchase Delta-8 THC, which is legally available to everyone in the state of Mississippi. But this comes with some risk. The Oxford Treatment Center is warning Mississippi residents of possible fentanyl-laced Delta-8 products. Delta-8 is a naturally occurring cannabinoid, but it is so rare. Most of the time when you are consuming cannabis, it is not natural. It is a form of Delta-8 that is produced because of the high level of chemicals and processes that occur during the production of CBD oil. This information has not yet been confirmed, but the Oxford Treatment Center feels it's important for customers to know that products that are consuming may not be 100% natural.
Ole Miss students and faculty will team up with Millsaps College and Jackson State University to discuss the continuing Jackson water crisis and how it has affected their lives. This conversation will happen at the second annual Water Day panel. It will be held tomorrow evening at Bishop Hall, room 209. It will start at 5:30 p.m. The public is welcome to this panel and admission is free. Following this panel, the Center for Community Engagement and Aquaculture, a student-run organization, will hold a Sardis Lake Cleanup Day on March 26 from noon to 3. To sign up, go to olemiss.givepulse.sardislakecleanup.com. The 2023 IMC Connect Conference is just around the corner, and the Ole Miss School of Journalism and New Media is set to bring top educators and speakers from all across the country. This event will help students with their career and networking skills, which is designed to help in their future careers. Students will also have the opportunity to participate in hands-on workshops, including professional headshots, a tour of the Student Media Center, and a resume and portfolio building seminar. IMC Connect will be open to all students March 30th through 31st. Students can sign up through olemiss.givepulse.com and find a full schedule of all of the events.
Up ahead, a Mississippi doctor caught up in a case of medical fraud will not be finding himself in bars after all.
Plus, if you have a cell phone, you're more than likely received scam texts. What to do to avoid them after the break.
Does it ever seem like some people are actually trying to destroy the planet? And the rest of us are like, hey, we need this planet. Some people may be slow to learn, but they'll eventually get the message.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
When you have a hole in your neck, don't face the shower head.
Suction out your tube before you eat. Crouch. Don't bend over. You don't want to lose the food in your stomach. Don't use spray paint.
Be very careful shaving.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Legacy isn't just about where you're from, it's about where you're going. So where are you going?
I'm going to be the first in my family to graduate.
I'm going to make a difference.
Just like my granddad.
I'm going to make the bestseller list.
And I'm going to help him get there.
I'm going to win a championship.
Again! I'm going to lock the vault! Hotty toddy!
I'm going to take the next step. I'm going to bring them to their feet.
I'm going to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Build your legacy.
Good evening and welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. Happening out of Meridian, a doctor involved in a case of healthcare fraud avoids prison time. Dr. Gregory Ozine of Meridian pleaded guilty Monday to failing to disclose information involving expensive prescription pain cream. He was accused of causing roughly $18 million in fraud by signing pre-printed prescription forms for medicines. He was sentenced to 5 years probation along with a $20,000 fine and over $100,000 in restitution.
New evidence supports the theory that the coronavirus originated in nature. A new analysis suggests animals susceptible to the virus that causes COVID-19 were at a wet market in Wuhan, China in the early days of the coronavirus. The findings come from an international team of researchers who reanalyzed genomic data collected at the market in early 2020. They say some samples positive for traces of the virus also contain traces of DNA from animals known to be susceptible to infection. The researchers point to this as evidence that live animals traded at the market could have passed the virus to humans. Among the animals included in the analysis were raccoon dogs, red foxes, rabbits, cats, and dogs. Raccoon dogs are of particularly interest because they shed a lot of viruses when they get sick from it and can transmit the virus to uninfected animals. Indiana lawmakers are moving forward with legislation to ban gender-affirming care for minors in the state. The House Public Health Committee passed Senate Bill 480 on Tuesday. It will now head to the full House. If passed there, the bill will head to Governor Eric Holcomb's desk. The bill would prohibit physicians or practitioners from knowingly providing gender transition procedures to a minor. It also bans other gender-affirming care like puberty blockers and hormone therapy.
We're not looking at medical facts, we're not looking at the mental health facts, and we're not listening to people who are living this experience. We are taking all of our opinions and all of our bias and we're using that instead of looking at the truth. So, I mean, that alone, the fact that they have not listened to any fact, any statistic, that alone should cancel out this bill.
The explosion of spam has the government taking new steps to stop scam text messages. The FCC logging more than 18,000 customer complaints last year. Mike Valerio takes a look at the plan to protect consumers.
The Federal Communications Commission voting unanimously to adopt new rules to keep scam texts off your phone. Phone providers must block text messages from phone numbers that appear to be invalid, unallocated, or unused. The FCC also saying carriers will be required to block messages from phone numbers that claim to never send text messages and numbers that the government has identified as not used for texting.
This isn't going to be like an instant fix. It really takes time to make progress.
This move mirrors the government effort made to shut down illegal robocalls. Now, a major increase in spam and text messages seems to have taken robocalls' place.
But it's really difficult to enforce it effectively and to get everybody on the same page because of technical challenges, but also because you don't want to be stopping legitimate communications.
Authorities say scam robo-texts may be even more dangerous than robocalls because the texts may contain malicious links to software that could infect your phone. FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel saying, quote, scam artists have found that sending us messages about a package you never ordered or a payment that never went through, along with a link to a shady website, is a quick and easy way to get us to engage on our devices and fall prey to fraud.
It's not your fault if you fall for a scam. That's the whole point. That's what they're trying to achieve.
The CDC is sounding the alarm about the growing threat of a deadly fungus called Candida auris. On Monday, the agency published research saying clinical cases of Candida auris are skyrocketing. It says cases went from 53 in 2016 to almost 1,500 in 2021. Researchers say, though the cases were initially clustered in New York and Chicago, they are now being reported in more than half of U.S. states. According to the CDC, healthy people don't usually get sick from Candida auris. It's more likely to affect people who have serious medical problems, weakened immune systems, and people with medical devices going into their bodies, such as breathing tubes or catheters. The multi-drug resistant fungus also spreads through healthcare facilities. It can be carried on people's skin without causing symptoms. Researchers say the pandemic may have also exacerbated this spread. The research appeared in the Annals of Internal Medicine. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Flashlights.
What's up, champ? Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you.
Today is March 21st, which means spring has officially sprung.
That's right, Juliana, but it's not really feeling like spring outside. These past couple of days, the weather has been seeming much cooler, but the question is, will these temperatures be sticking around?
Let's check in with NewsWatch weather anchor Mallory Edgin on what the start of spring will be looking like for us. Mallory?
Hey Rebels, I'm Mallory Edger with your weather for today. We have had a few cold days here recently in Oxford, but thankfully it is a little bit warmer today. We are currently at a temperature of 58 degrees with some decent winds coming in. And then looking at our region for today, it looks like all of our temperatures are falling in the same range with the exception of South Haven, which is a little bit cooler. And then looking at our radar, we can see all of this coming in, which is why we are experiencing some on and off rain today, which will be continuing through tonight. So if you do plan on going out, make sure to bring your rain jacket. And then looking at tonight, it does look like our temperature is not really dropping down. It's going to stay pretty much the same. But once again, we do have some decent winds coming in. So if you do go out, make sure to bring a light jacket. And then looking at tomorrow, it looks like we are going to be heating up quite a bit, which is a huge switch up. I know that I'm super excited. We are going to be at a temperature of 77, so make sure to go out and enjoy that day. And then looking at our region for tomorrow, it does look like, once again, all of our temperatures are falling in the same range, from the low 70s to the high 70s, with Oxford topping everybody out at a temperature of 77. And then looking at our 5-day weather forecast, it does look like we have a mixture of some nice days and some rainy days, but make sure to go out and enjoy the nice days that we do have.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm looking forward to warmer weather, as I'm sure everyone else is too.
Absolutely. It's gonna be a little chilly tonight for the game, but I'm still excited to go. Are you going? Anybody else going?
I don't know. The rain's kind of scaring me
a little
bit.
But we'll see. $2 hot dogs. That does sound pretty nice.
Exactly.
So what else do we have coming up?
Well, coming up, like we said, the baseball team is in action today against Arkansas Pine Bluff, and find out how the men's golf team is faring in their tournament in Houston. I'll have that and more up next in sports.
Creating a legacy takes time, takes dedication, spirit, and a greater vision. That vision starts here at the University of Mississippi. What will you be remembered by? Your character? Your contributions? Your friendship? Your legacy will define who we are now and who we are becoming for our state, our students, and our future. Ole Miss, build your legacy.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride? Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Welcome to Sports Watch. I'm Campbell Holmes. Well, Rebs, after NewsWatch, go over to Swayze Field because the Rebs are back in action tonight with a matchup against Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Lions and Rebels will be meeting for the first time since 2019, where the Rebs won the two-game series at home 37-2. Ole Miss is hoping to bounce back against UAPB as they come in tonight's game with a 4-game losing streak. Even with the recent losses, though, the Rebs are still ranked 13 in the country. The game will start at 6:30, and if you're not able to go to Swayze, you can watch on the SEC network. And Lane Kiffin and the football team are already getting ready for next season as they have opened the 2023 spring football drills today. The Rebs also came out with some new information about their spring practices and, of course, the Grove Bowl. The Grove Bowl will be on Saturday, April 15th at 2 and will be televised by the SEC network. But before the Grove Bowl, fans are invited to attend 2 Saturday practices on April 1st and 8th. The gates will open at 10:15 that morning and practice will start at 10:45. And lastly, the team will be hosting its 2023 Pro Day on Wednesday, March 29th. NFL teams will come and work out 11 former players for the Rebs, but is closed to the public. And going over to the course, the men's golf team has completed their first day at the All-American Intercollegiate. The team is tied for second place after completing the day with an overall score of 2 under. The team has 3 Rebels making appearances in the top 20 just after 2 rounds. The team all chipped in throughout the first day of the competition, getting 33 birdies and win par for 113 holes. The team teed up this morning for the final round of the competition this morning and were paired up with Louisville, Kansas State, and Tennessee. And the volleyball team is back in action as they announced their competition schedule for the next month. They will open up their spring matchups playing Mississippi College this Saturday in Oxford. The team will also be hosting the Memphis Tigers the next weekend on April 1st. After hosting the Choctaws and Tigers, they will travel on over to Starkville on Saturday, April 15th for a matchup with arch rival Mississippi State. All the home matchups will be in the Gillum Center and admission is free to all fans. And that's all I've got for sports. Be sure to tune in to Rebel Watch on Fridays at 5 for coverage on Ole Miss sports and beyond. Back to y'all.
Thanks, Campbell. Up ahead, 3D printers can print just about anything under the sun.
Plus, but would you believe us if we told you they could print food? We'll explain more after the break.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. Ready! That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I needed for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class.
These colored pencils too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Okay, guys, raise your hand if you're a dessert lover.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Well, I know I am, but sometimes the best desserts are such a pain to make.
Yes, agreed. There's some days I really just have a sweet tooth, but I just don't feel like baking.
Yes.
But believe it or not, 3D printers may be a game changer for us.
That's right, Relicia. 3D printing machines have been able to make a lot of things like furniture, shoes, a rocket, even human organs.
But can they create and bake a dessert? Engineers at Columbia University set out to do just that.
A team used a 3D printing machine and laser technology to whip up a 7-ingredient vegan cheesecake. That's according to a study published Tuesday in the journal NPJ Science of Food.
Researchers say the experiment was a step toward making it practical to use 3D printing in mechanically assembled food. One of the co-authors of the study says if food made by a 3D machine and a laser seem off-putting, it shouldn't be, because it's much like using an oven or a microwave to cook your food.
He did add that he is looking into exploring how cooking with lasers might affect the food at a molecular level.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. For NewsWatch Ole Miss, I'm Verlicia Gavin.
And I'm Juliana Jackson.
With Sports Watch, I'm Campbell Holmes.
And with Stormwatch, I'm Mallory Edgen.
Be sure to keep up with us on social media, and we will see you again tomorrow at 5.
Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.